Hello and welcome back once again in English video. In this video today we are going to take worksheet number 37 and we will do the revision of the remaining chapters that are coming in your term 1 exam, and they are from your English language. Okay, so the chapters left for your revision are preposition and tenses, which we are going to cover in this worksheet today. Now children, first of all, this is your submission worksheet and you all have to submit this worksheet on 12th of September. Okay, so let's start the revision. Now you can see here I have set a question here, but before doing this exercise on preposition, I'm going to give you the revision of theory. I will explain you what are prepositions and what are its kinds, okay, in short. So let's start. Preposition. What is a preposition now? Now, preposition is a word. What is preposition? It is a word which shows the relation. Okay, which shows the relation. A preposition is a word which shows or describes a relation between the subject and the object in a sentence. Okay, what does it describes? Preposition describes or shows the relation between subject and the object in the sentence. As we all know that in a sentence there are three main things, that is subject, verb and object. Okay, so a preposition is a word which shows the relation of subject and the object. Okay, so now what are the kinds of preposition? How we will use the preposition in a sentence? Let's see. Now the first, there are three kinds of preposition. Okay, preposition of time first, second is preposition of position, and third preposition of direction. Now let's take it one by one. What is preposition of time? Preposition of time denotes the relation of a noun or a pronoun with the other words in the sentence, or you can say objects, okay, in the terms of time. It means that it shows the time relation. Okay, what does that preposition of time shows? It shows the time relation between the subject and the object. So preposition of time includes on, in, at, by, until, before, during, between, since, within. These all are the words which fall under the category of preposition of time. Next is your preposition of place. Now preposition of place denotes or shows the relation of noun or a pronoun, or noun or pronoun, you can also take it as subject. Okay, so it shows the relation of subject with the object in the sentence in terms of position. Basically it tells the position where the object is lying, where the object is placed in the sentence. Okay, like if I say, for example, I have put my wallet in the drawer. So in this sentence, I is your subject, have put my wallet, okay, and where have you put the wallet? In the drawer. Okay, so in is your preposition of position. Now preposition of time also includes in, and in the same way preposition of position also includes in. So but these both the we use this in differently in both of the sentences. So now let me tell you the difference between the preposition of time and preposition of position while we are using in. So when you are using in as like with the names of month, season, year, and you are using it before morning, evening and afternoon, these kind of words, it is your preposition of time. Okay, like for months, month name you will say in December, in January, in February. If you are using in before the month name or season's name, in winter, in summer, or the year, okay, in 2020 or in 2019, or you can say if you are using in the morning, in evening, in afternoon, like this you are using, it is denoting the preposition of time. Okay, but if you are using in before, or you can say you are using in to show the location of the thing, that particular thing in the sentence we are talking about, you are telling the position or the location of that thing, okay, or area where that thing is placed. So in that case you will say that in is your preposition of place. All right, so other preposition of places place are in, an, ought, at, on, above, under, by, beside, next to, between, among, behind, okay, in front, in front of, besides. These all are words which we use as preposition of place, okay, because they tell us the position or the location of the object in the sentence. Okay, now next and the third kind of preposition is preposition of direction. Now it denotes the relation of the subject with the object in the terms of direction or movement, that where that subject and object are moving, where they are going. Movement, you know what do you mean by movement? All right, movement, at which direction the object is kept, or which direction the movement is taking place. So you can say that it gives information about the direction and the movement of the person and the things in the sentence, where the things and the persons are moving from here to there. So we can say in the preposition of direction and movement, the words like to, towards, through, into, across, over, along, onto, these are the words which we use under the category of direction of preposition of direction and movement. All right, so now let's take the exercise. The aeroplane question is, pick out the nouns and preposition from each sentence. Now first you have to underline the noun, and then you have to write it, and then preposition also. So the first sentence is, the aeroplane was flying over the bridge. Now aeroplane is your noun. Why? Because it is a thing, it is a noun, and over is your preposition. Now here over, what is it showing? What is this over showing? It is showing the movement of the aeroplane. So this is your preposition of movement and direction. Got my point? This aeroplane is your noun, and this over is showing the movement of the flying of aeroplane. Where it is flying over the bridge. Okay, so over will be your preposition of movement and direction. Next sentence is, our annual day is on 23rd of December. Now our annual day, this is your special day, so let's take December as a noun. This is your proper noun, it is a name of a month. So December, December, December is your proper noun, and on is your preposition. On is a preposition of what? Time, because it is placed before the date. Date is mentioned here, 23rd of December, so it is time, it is showing time, so it is a preposition of time. Next is, we celebrate Christmas in the month of, sorry, I have written it twice, in the month of December. Okay, so Christmas again is your name of festival. Okay, so we will write Christmas, it is your proper noun, and in the month of December, in is your preposition. Now it is describing the month name, so it is your preposition of preposition of time. It is showing the preposition of time because it is telling when. Okay. All right. Next is, here you can write December again also. You can write December as your proper noun. So if you want to write two nouns, if you have identified two nouns, you can write two nouns also. But one, at least you have to write one noun and one preposition. All right. So I have written only one. You can write two also. Next is, I am going to the market. I am going to the market. Here, market is a place. So it will be your noun, common noun. Sorry. Market, first of all we will write market and it's common noun. Why it's common noun? Because there is no name mentioned for this market, right? Then what is the preposition? To is your preposition. And what does this to is showing? What kind of preposition it is? To is your preposition of movement and direction. Why? Because to is indicating the movement. Okay, this subject I. This I is going to the market. So where this I is going, the subject is going to the market. So it is showing the direction. It is showing the movement that this is going or moving towards market. Okay, so to is your preposition of movement and direction. Next is, the crowd moved towards the police station. Again, here crowd is your CROWD. Crowd is your noun. All right. Then moved is your verb. Towards is your preposition. And what kind of preposition it is? Preposition of, again, movement and direction. Why? Because it is showing that the crowd is moving towards the police station. It moved toward the police station. Okay. Then next is, the peon rings bell at 8 a.m. Now peon is a person, so it is your common noun because no name has been given to peon. It's just a common noun. All right. Rings is your verb. Bell again is your noun. If you want, you can write bell again as a noun. And then at is your preposition. At is your preposition and it is showing the time at 8 a.m. all right. So if I have told you that if we are talking about a exact time that you have on your watch, 8 a.m. or 9 p.m. or this kind of time, if you tell, then for before that you use at. So at is a preposition of time. All right, because here we are telling the exact time, and also when we tell exact time, before it we always use at. So at is your preposition of time in this sentence. All right. Next is, it has been raining since morning. Now it has been raining. Now here there is no noun. Pronoun is here it, but there is no noun, so we will not write it. Okay. Since. Now since is your preposition. And what kind of preposition? It is telling you the time. Again, since is telling you the time. And when we use this since, when we are talking about a time which started in the past, all right, it took place in past and it is still continuing, so there we use since. So it is a preposition of time. In the next question, it is a fill in the blanks with the correct option from the bracket. Now here in this question, The answers are given in the brackets, so you have to choose the correct one. All right. First is the old man sat dash the shade of the tree, below or under. Below also means something which is किसी चीज़ के नीचे होता है, and under also means. But when we talk about the shade of the tree, we will say under, UNDER, under. All right. The painting is hanging dash the wall or on the wall or in the wall. It will be on the wall. All right. It cannot be in the wall. It was difficult for my grandmother to get dash the taxi into or on. Where will grandmother sit? Inside or out or on the taxi? Into. So she will sit inside na. So it was difficult for my grandmother to get into the taxi. On means ऊपर, किसी चीज़ के ऊपर. Into means अंदर. So where do we sit in the taxi? Inside. So here into will come in the box. Blank, sorry. Fourth is the dogs are kept dash the kennel. Where do we keep our dogs? We keep our dogs inside, not outside. Inside the kennel. Okay. Next chapter is your tenses. Now tenses, here exercise is given. First of all, I will discuss again the structures and the tenses one by one. In this exam, you are getting your simple tenses. There are three main tenses: simple present tense, present tense, past tense, and future tense. There are so many kinds of each tenses, but in this term, we are going to do only the simple tenses: simple present tense, simple past tense, and simple future tense. So before doing the exercise, let us revise the structures of all these tenses. Okay, so let's start with the tense number 1, that is your simple present tense. First of all, I will write three kinds of tenses: simple present tense. This is your first tense. Now I have told you in the previous video also that there are three kinds of sentences for each tense. Kinds of sentences means we write sentences in three forms. All right. Each and every tense. This is simple present tense. So this simple present tense will have three forms of tenses. Three forms of sentences. Sorry. First is your three forms will be: first is your positive, second is your negative, and third is your interrogative. Okay, so positive, negative, and interrogative, these are the three forms of sentences which we write in each tense form, whether it is simple present, whether it is simple past, simple future. These three tenses will be in all these three. Okay, these three forms. So positive means when we affirm something, okay, when we say yes to something, when we talk positively about something, we use positive sentence. Negative sentences means that when we are saying no to something, okay, there we use negative. And negative sentences always have not in them. Then there are interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences are used to ask questions. All right. Now let's start the structure of positive. Now structure of positive sentence. Positive, simple present. All right. So this simple present tense positive sentence structure is subject plus verb. I have written here S. Okay. So S is used according to the subject we are choosing. If the subject is singular, we will use S with the verb. If the subject is plural, we will not use S. We will just use the verb in the first form. Then plus object and full stop. This is the structure for simple present positive sentence. Now, for example, if I write she, this is your subject, singular subject. Okay, she dance. Now here she is your singular subject, one. Singular means one subject, so we will write DANCES. We will add S like this. She dances beautifully. First stop. This is your object. Beautifully is your object. Okay. She dances beautifully. And if I change the subject to plural, if I say they, I will write they dance beautifully. So in this way, you can make sentences in simple present tense, positive sentence. Okay, just take care of this, your verb with S and without S when you are using the different kind of subject. Singular subject with S, plural subject without S. Now plural subject में आपके पास आता है I, you, we, they. Okay, these all are your plural subjects. Next is if I say negative sentence. Negative sentence in simple present tense. Now negative means not. So we will just make some changes in this structure. We will make changes in this structure. I will write the structure. I will copy it from here. Subject. You just need to learn this subject, this structure of simple present tense positive. We will write subject. Then what do we need? Because it is negative sentence, we will add not, and we use, sorry, I have written it capital, subject plus do not or does not plus verb. Now here verb will be in the singular form. It means we will not use S with it, and not plus object. Okay, subject plus do not. What we have added to the positive sentence here for to making negative, do not or does not. Okay, here you have to take care of the subject again. Subject, if the subject is singular, she do not. Verb I have taken again dance, D-A-N-C. She do not dance beautifully. And if the subject is plural, they, sorry, she does not, she, D-O-E-S. With singular subject we use does, D-O-E-S, does not. She does not dance beautifully. They do not dance beautifully. Okay, so for the negative sentence we have just added do not and does not before the verb in the positive sentence. Okay, पॉजिटिव सेंटेंस का जो आपका स्ट्रक्चर था उसी में हमने डू नॉट एंड डज नॉट यूज़ किया है टू मेक इट नेगेटिव. लेकिन जब आप नेगेटिव बनाएंगे तब आपको ये ध्यान रखना है कि जो आपका सब्जेक्ट है अगर सिंगुलर है, इफ़ द सब्जेक्ट इज सिंगुलर यू विल राइट और यू विल यूज़ डज नॉट फॉर नेगेटिव सेंटेंस. शी डज नॉट डांस ब्यूटिफुली. एंड इफ़ योर सब्जेक्ट इज प्लूरल, दे, आई, यू, वी, you will use do not. They do not dance beautifully. Okay, now let's come to the interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence in simple present. नाउ अब हम क्या करेंगे, इंट्रोगेटिव को बनाने के लिए हम नेगेटिव में ही चेंज लाएंगे. ठीक है, नेगेटिव में हमने क्या ऐड किया था, डू नॉट एंड डज नॉट. नाउ इंट्रोगेटिव इज नॉट अ नेगेटिव सेंटेंस, सो वी विल रिमूव नॉट. हम जो नेगेटिव है उसमें से नॉट हटा देंगे, क्या बनाने के लिए, इंट्रोगेटिव. सो बट हमें 2 चेंजेस करने हैं नेगेटिव स्ट्रक्चर में. We have to make 2 changes to make it interrogative. What are those changes? We have to remove first changes, we have to remove not, and we have to change the position of do and does and the subject. How? Like for interrogative we will use this helping verb. These are called helping verbs. Okay, do, does, has, have, is, am, are, these all are helping verbs. So we will change the position of helping verb. Here in the negative sentence, do and does are coming in the second position after the subject. But when we will write the interrogative sentence, we will write this helping verb do and does before the subject. Like if I say do or does plus subject plus verb plus object, and question mark is compulsory in interrogative sentence. So if the subject is again here, again you will take care of the singular and plural subject. If the subject is singular, if we take the subject she, does subject she, does she verb dance, D-A-N-C-E, dance, object is beautifully, B-A-U-T-I-F-U-L-L-Y, and question mark. Does she dance beautifully? Now whenever we are using do and does in the sentence, we will not add s to any of the verb. Verb will remain in the base form without any s. Okay, you will just use s, you will only use s with the verb when you are writing the positive sentence, positive sentence in simple present tense. All right, in negative and in interrogative sentence you will not use s with the verb. If your subject is singular or plural, doesn't matter, because we are using does and do, and whenever we use does and do in the sentence, we do not use s with the verb. So the sentence will be, does she dance beautifully? This is your interrogative sentence with singular subject. And if the subject is plural, do, plural subject के साथ हम लगाएंगे do they dance beautifully, question mark. All right, I hope you have understood the simple present tense, these three kind of how you will make the three tenses. Okay, 3 forms of sentences in this simple present tense: positive, negative, and interrogative. Now let's do the next tense, that is your simple past tense. And again here positive sentence we will make. Positive sentence in simple past, and the structure is subject, this is positive sentence in simple past. Okay, subject plus verb second plus object. Now again in this simple past tense, when we are using positive sentence, when we are writing positive sentence, you need not to change anything in the verb. The verb will remain in the second form in positive sentence. For example, if the subject is singular or if the subject is plural, in the both the cases you will use the second form of the verb. You will not change anything in the verb. Like he, verb second means the second form. Like if I say like is your verb in the first form, like, liked, second form. Run, ran. Run is your first form, ran is your second form. Okay, then sit, sat. Sit is your first form, second form is sat. Write, wrote. Eat, ate. So you have to write the second form of the verb. Okay, so he sat. Sit का होता है आपका sat second form. He sat on the floor. So he is your subject, singular subject. Sat is your second form of the verb. On the floor is your object. And if I take we as a subject, this is a plural. Again, this will remain the same. We sat on the floor. You don't need to change anything when you are writing the simple past tense positive sentence. Okay. Now next is your negative. Now negative sentence, again I have told you, in negative sentence you will use not. Okay. So in present tense we were using not, and with not we were using do not and does not according to the subject. Do with the plural subject, does with the singular subject. But here in the past tense we will not change anything. We will just write did not in both the cases, whether the subject is singular or plural. So your structure will be subject plus did not, and now here we are using did like we were using does and do there in the present tense. We are using did in the past tense. So again with did we will not use the second form or third form of the verb. We will use the base form of the verb plus verb 1 plus object. So the subject is he. You will write did not sat, verb 1. He did not, verb 1 is sit. He did not sit on the floor. Okay, he did not sit on the floor. And if the subject is we, this is your plural subject. We did not sit on the floor. Okay. So with did we will use the first form of the verb. Second form of the verb will be used only and only in the positive sentence of past tense. Okay. Keep this thing in mind that you will use the verb in second form when you are writing the positive simple past sentence. Okay. Next is your interrogative sentence. Again, whenever you are writing any interrogative sentence, just recall the structure of negative sentence of that tense. Like we are doing simple past tense. So in simple past tense, the structure of negative was subject plus did not plus verb plus object. Okay. Now interrogative, we will make slight changes in this negative sentence structure. First of all, there are two changes we have to make like we've made in simple present tense. Okay, we will remove this not and we will change the position of did and the subject like this here. Okay, to make it interrogative sentence. Okay, so we will write structure is did plus subject plus verb. Again verb will be in the first position, first form, verb 1 plus object and question mark because it is an interrogative sentence. Then now again here you will use did with singular and plural both the subjects. Now this sentence would be, or example would be, did he sit on the floor? If the subject is plural, did they, or you can say we, sit on the floor? Okay, I hope you have understood that whenever you will make the interrogative sentence, you just make some changes in your negative sentence of that particular tense. Okay, you will remove not and you will change the position of did and the subject, and then it will become your interrogative sentence. Now let's do the simple future tense. Again, positive sentence.
For future tense, we always use will and shall. What we will use? Will and shall. Shall is mostly used with I and we. Okay. So positive sentence we will write subject plus will plus verb plus object. For example, will go with the singular and plural subjects. She will come is your verb, come home today. She will come home today. She is your singular subject. Will is your future tense. Will is showing a future tense. Come is your verb in the first form, and home today is your object. If the subject is plural, they will come home today. Okay. So if I write I shall come home today. All right. For negative, we will add not. Here we don't need to add any helping verb because already helping verb will is here. All right. Like in simple past and simple present tense, we were adding do and does not, and in past we were adding did not. All right. So did, do, and does are helping verbs. In future tense, we have our helping verb already. So we need not to add anything. We will just add not to make it negative. So negative sentence, we will add not to this positive sentence structure, that is your subject plus will plus not plus verb will remain in the first form and the object. All right, not question mark because it is not your full stop you will write. Now subject is, I will take the same sentence, okay, because to avoid any confusion. She will not come home today. Okay. They will not come home today. And I shall not come home today. Got it? Now let's come to the interrogative. Now interrogative sentence, again you will make changes in the negative sentence, structure of negative sentence. 2 changes you will make, and you can make your interrogative sentence in simple future tense. All right. So what changes we will make? First of all, we will remove this not from the negative sentence, and we will change the position of this helping verb will and the subject. Will come in the first position and subject will go in the second position, and it will give you the interrogative sentence. Now we will write will, sorry, first of all write the structure here. Will plus subject can be singular or plural. Will subject plus verb plus object and question mark. So the example will be, will she come home today? Question mark. The subject is plural. Will they come home today? Or if I take the subject I, shall I will change the sentence a little bit here. Shall I go there? Okay, so shall is your helping verb, or you can say shall is used for future tense, and I is your subject. And I have told you that shall we use with I and we to ask questions also, and for positive sentence also we can use shall, but mostly we use shall with I and we. Okay, so I have changed the subject verb here, go. Shall I go there? Question mark. All right, so I hope you have understood the simple tenses, how you will learn these are the tricks, like how you can learn to make the structures and the sentences in the these simple tenses. All right, but you will get, when you will practice this, then only you will be able to do this type of questions of tenses. Okay, so practice this thing in your notebooks like this, and then you can do it properly. Now let's take the exercise on tenses. Now convert the following sentences as directed in the bracket. Now you have to convert this sentence. A sentence is given, and then you have to convert it in the tense which has been given to you in the bracket. So I went to school yesterday. You have to convert the sentence in simple past negative. I went to school yesterday. This is your positive sentence because there is no not. कोई नॉट नहीं है, तो इसका मतलब ये कौन सा सेंटेंस है आपका? पॉजिटिव सेंटेंस, और आपको इसको नेगेटिव में बनाना है. सो वेंट इज योर सेकेंड फॉर्म ऑफ गो. गो, वेंट, गॉन. गो इज, वेंट इज योर सेकेंड फॉर्म. दैट मीन्स इट इज इन simple past only, but it is positive, so you have to make it negative. So what you will add? Not. How you will how you will write? I, subject, went. Now in negative sentence, when you write simple past negative sentence, you add did not. Okay, so you will write did not. And went will convert, when will change to the first form. Went is your second form of the verb, so first form is go. I did not go to school yesterday. Okay, yeah. The second is she will not read this book. This is your will. Again, look at this sentence is your future tense sentence, simple future tense, and not is here. That means it is your negative sentence, simple future negative sentence. And in the bracket it is given simple future positive sentence you have to make. So it is very simple. You will just remove this not. So the sentence will be she will read this book. Okay, next is does he like it? Okay, he is your singular subject, so here does is used. So does he like it? Does we use in simple present tense. Does we use in simple present tense, and when the helping verb is written in the first position or starting of the sentence, that means it is your interrogative sentence. Here you can see the question mark also. So this is your simple present tense interrogative sentence. Now you have to make simple past interrogative. So does will change to did. Past में आपका does किस में change होता है? Did में. Did he like it? Because interrogative sentence you have to make. Past में आपको interrogative बनाना है, तो past interrogative में तो ये है ही, but आपको प्रेजेंट को, जो डज आपका प्रेजेंट है, तो आपको उसको पास्ट में कन्वर्ट करना है. डज को पास्ट में हम कन्वर्ट करते हैं, तो हमारे पास क्या आता है? डिड. सो द सेंटेंस विल बी डिड ही लाइक इट एंड क्वेश्चन मार्क. नेक्स्ट इज द पुलिस कैचेस द थीफ. नाउ पुलिस कैचेस द थीफ. नाउ दिस इज द सब्जेक्ट, दिस इज द वर्ब in the first form, and it is s written with the verb. That means this sentence is in your simple present positive sentence. The police is your singular subject, that's why here s is added to this verb catch. So we have to change it in simple past negative. So simple past negative, that means negative में बदलना है हमको, तो we will write the police, and negative means did, past means did not, negative means not, and when we are using not, what we will add with not in for past tense? Did. The police did not. Now it has become the past negative, but the verb which we will use in past, simple past negative, will be in first form without s. Catch. Because here did is there. Whenever we use did in a sentence, we use the first form of the verb without s. The police did not catch the thief thief. Okay. Next is they did not come to the party. Now this sentence is did not is here, that means this sentence is in simple past negative sentence. So we have to convert this sentence in simple past interrogative. So for interrogative, what changes we have to make? We have to remove not and we have to change the position of subject and this helping verb did. It will go here and this will go here. Okay, so we will write did, they. We will remove not because it is interrogative sentence. Did they come to the party? Question mark. All right. Next, the last one is she will cook the food. Now she will, again will is showing that this is your future tense. She will cook the food. Okay, and we have to change this sentence in simple future interrogative. Again we have to change in interrogative. So what we will do, we will change this will and the subject position. It will go here for interrogative. Okay, and the subject will come this side. So the sentence will be will she cook the food? And don't forget to put the question mark whenever you write a in an interrogative sentence, because without this mark, question mark, your sentence is incomplete. Your marks will be deducted. Okay, so that's why whenever you write an interrogative sentence, always put question mark and always put full stop after the positive sentences and negative sentences. So here this revision ends. I have given you the revision of preposition and tenses in this worksheet. So prepare your worksheets accordingly. Prepare for exams according the worksheets I have given to you. Same questions will not come. There will be some changes in the questions, but if you will practice these questions, you will be able to attempt your question paper very easily. For tenses, just practice the structures again and again. Write down the structures. Okay, write down as many as sentences you can make by using those structures. All right, then only you will have a good practice of tenses. Now till the next video, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.